this is something that we not only, well, I don't want to say we joked about. We said that this was going to be a thing that happened, and people called us crazy. But if you watch a video that I did before, I kind of discussed how this was an inevitable thing. You have to understand that when it came to this vaccine, or multiple of the vaccines, when it just came to COVID in general, what happened was people, like, there's a lot of people that had a lot to gain with everything surrounding it. So incentivizing people to get it, whether it be through fear mongering or just giving it to you, whatever it was something that they were invested in because, again, so many angles and so many different people had a lot to gain from it. And that's how you, I mean, people always say follow the money. And that's what they're meaning. Look who has the most to gain. So when you look at survival rates versus effective rates, and then you sit up here and like, wow, why are we doing all this? We haven't done anything like this over the course of human history, for something that has been this, like, not lethal. And the reason why is that you have to look at what people have to gain. A lot of people have got caught with egg on their face, so it's one of those perpetual can kicking things where it's like they have to perpetuate this narrative. Why was it that the Californians of the world, we had Newsom saying that it was reckless, that Texas would open 100%? By the way, the sky has not fallen here in Texas, okay? But you have to look at who has the most to gain, be it from the pharmaceutical companies, whether it be from politicians, governors, mayors, and all of what they have to gain. And this is why what we kept saying, it had nothing to be with being like a lucky guess or clairvoyant. You could actually see it coming. And so many folks saw this coming. So many folks saw this company coming. We're looking at vaccine, or the entertaining. We know the Biden administration is entertaining it. Having some sort of, again, economic incentive is what it's all about. Usually they'll steal money from people to then redistribute it in some form. But we know New York is entertaining this idea of vaccine passport, something that people, they either, some people on the anti-lockdown side joked about it like it wouldn't happen, and he had people that would just call you, dare I say, a conspiracy theorist. The pro-lockdown guys, like, this is not anything that would happen. This is effectively what we're dealing with, is a papers, please situation. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has announced a vaccine passport that New Yorkers can use to prove vaccination history or negative of a negative COVID-19 test. The program is called the Excelsior Pass. What a name, huh? Is an app that is not mandatory for now. And again, you know how it is. This is what I called, if you go look at my previous videos. It'll be mandatory in the sense that it'll be very difficult to navigate without it, is what it is. They'll make your life very, very difficult. Similar to a mobile airline boarding pass, individuals will be able to either print out their pass or store it on their smartphones using the Excelsior Pass wallet app. Each pass has a secure QR code, which participating businesses and venues can scan using a companion app to verify proof of COVID-19 negative test results or proof of vaccinations. And individual data is kept secure and confidential at all times. No, it's not. So basically how it works is like it's papers, please. Paper citizen situation. Now they'll say that it's not mandatory right now, but of course, again, it's one of those things where this is what I see happening realistically. Realistically, they will, some of the more authoritarian states will levy like businesses to do it. So what that means is that it's not a mandatory that you have it by way of the citizen. But if you go to this type of business, then they'll require it because they're getting pressured by the government to do it. So that is something that you need to expect. So when they say that it's not mandatory, effectively it is. Right? It's like the whole taxation is voluntary thing, which is what people say. And when it's not, right? Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, you don't pay it, we'll just send goons to come knock down your door in the event that you don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not voluntary in that sense. It's extortion. So it'll be one of those situations where it's they'll levy them, and then the businesses or where the people gather, something like that will require you to have it. And if you don't have it, then yeah, you'll try to enter the business or something, then yeah, that's where the trouble will arise. Now, I know some people are saying, hey, this is like kind of getting into this fascistic sort of approach. And yeah, I mean, I called, look at my old videos, man. It's a term that I used calling this stuff early on. Fascism does not mean what you crackheads think that it means. It's not people on the right that I don't like. That's not what fascism is. I've defined this. I've done long form 45-minute videos talking about the history of fascism and socialism and all of that. Yes, you would be correct when you have corporate in bed with state, merging of state. Yes, that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. So you'd be correct that that's on the horizon, or that effectively it's here already. Yes, you'd be correct. It's not, oh, man with R next to his name doing bad thing. No, a lot of people that consider themselves more anti-fascist adopt fascistic Mussolini, Italy approaches when it comes to making sure everything is under state, nothing out of it. This is why I've always said that putting fascism on the opposite side of communism, if that's what your political spectrum is, communism over here, fascism to the right, your political spectrum is useless. It's not even a useless spectrum. It's ahistorical and it's useless. That's what it is. Because when, again, not my opinion, fascism and the godfathers of fascism, they were all socialists. Mussolini being a Marxist, like, none of these are my opinions. These are historical facts. The doctrine of fascism, you can read it. It's online right now. And you see that the only problem that they had with the socialism at that point was that there was questions that it didn't answer. But it didn't effectively have an answer for. That was it. It wasn't that they were anti-socialist. They certainly were, and they were specifically against what people actually deem as, and what they should deem as, the opposite of fascism, and that's more of a classical liberalism, where you would prioritize the individual over the group. That's what Mussolini was against. This is why he specifically called it out, right? Being against classical liberalism. So this is why the anti-fascists, thinking that they somehow are absolved of being fascist is ahistorical. But credit to the indoctrinators and the public educators. They've done a great job of convincing people that somehow that communism is on the opposite side of fascism. So vaccine passport, listen, I don't expect this to be in a lot of places like the Texas of the world. Probably that's not going to be a thing. But New York's, the New Jerseys, probably the Californias, I can see them adopting this en masse. Certainly from a travel perspective, at minimum, like, you can't come to the state unless you have some sort of proof of vaccine or negative test or something like that, which is, to me, is just insane. But hey, papers, please. Peppers says. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.